television means to you. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice.
This is Health Check, your weekly guide to better living, smarter choices, and trusted answers. From everyday wellness to urgent health issues, we've got you covered. Health Check, only on Voice of the People Television, where your health has a voice.
When I first heard VOP, I thought they were talking about me because I'm a voice-over personality. But no, this is Voice of the People TV, and you are riveted forever because this is the place to be.
Yo guys, your boy Chella. Shout out to VOP TV. I love you guys.
Salut tout le monde, Suspect 95. Là, on est sur VOP TV. On passe un bon temps. J'espère que vous kiffez. On est au Afrima. On est ensemble. VOP TV.
Don't see me like a fool because I don't do giddy giddy giddy. VOP, you don't know Stoneware from Ghana representing live and living color. Yeah, Beam Nation President. Outside with it. Bless up.
Hello, this is Milo from Ivory Coast. Keep watch Voice of the People TV. Regardez la voix du peuple, la télévision de la voix du peuple. Que Dieu vous bénisse. À très bientôt. Love you so much.
Hi guys, what's up? This is Gaze Baba. I am watching VOP TV. Usually you be told to not touch the dial, but I tell you to touch the dial and increase the volume. You're like, keep it locked. It's Afro Gospel. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Shego Arunze. You're watching VOP. Don't change the dial.
My Joe, fine girl. My Joe, fine babe. Only are you, but on the Fuji was who. Yes, don't touch the dial. This is me, Dr. Adiwala Iba. Keep watching VOP TV.
The red carpets, awards, the razzmatazz, music, fashion, interviews, and more. Spotlight on Voice of the People Television. Let's feed you with all the juicy stories in the global entertainment space, bringing you the glitz and glamour as it is hot. Stay tuned to Spotlight, 1 p.m. Monday to Friday. Spotlight on VOP TV. Entertainment like never before. VOP TV. Now, you have ordinary. Something big is happening on your screen. Introducing VOP TV. Now streaming on SLTV channel 264. From breaking news to captivating conversations, news analysis, giving you all sides to the story. We break in-depth discussions on the issues that matter, from politics to sports, entertainment, and lifestyle. VOP TV on SLTV channel 264. Join us as we redefine what television means to you. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice. In a world where truth is the ultimate power and opinions scream the loudest, it's time to wade through the noise.
Hunger no get drum. Hunger no get religion.
And scan the human interest and trending topics that matter. Stay tuned to The Issues, your plug to the stories making the buzz, from politics to science and technology, social justice, and more. Let's tackle the tough questions and expose the truth. The Issues on Voice of the People Television. Don't just react, understand. Do you want your voice to be heard? Do you know that you matter in the scheme of things? The People's Voice, the show where ordinary citizens take center stage as we discuss the biggest stories that affect you and I. With you in mind, we facilitate lively discussions, debates, and interviews on the topics that matter most to you and I.
From social justice to economic empowerment, education to healthcare, governance and more. Tackling tough topics and amplifying your voice. Join the conversation and make your voice count. The People's Voice. Make your voice count.
Well, hello and welcome to news on Voice of the People TV. I am Vivian Oguche.
And I am Nenna Ndomdioto. Before we begin the news, kindly visit our website www.vop.ng for fresh and trending news. Here are the headlines. Governor Abba Yusuf quits NNPP.
Also, Reps minority alleges illegal changes in tax laws.
Court indefinitely adjourns Fubara'S impeachment case.
National grid collapses for first time in 2026.
DHQ urges Nigerians to stay alert.
NLC distillers protest at NAFDAC office and urge caution.
On the foreign scene, Somaliland president pitches business deals to Trump's son.
Well, in business news, CBN plans new debit card rules to ease ATM queues.
In sport, Arsenal's Nwaneri joins Marseille on loan.
In the world of entertainment, J1 urges young artists to respect legends.
Now the news in details. Kano State Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf has resigned from the New Nigeria People's Party, citing ongoing internal crisis and legal disputes that he says have weakened the party nationwide. Resignation announced by his spokesperson Sanusi Bature Tofa takes effect from January 25, 2026. Yusuf sent a letter to the NNPP chairman in Diso Chiranchi Ward, Gwale local government area. The governor thanked the party for supporting him since 2022, but said persistent leadership disputes and court cases have destabilized the party and divided its members. He added that his decision was guided by the public interest of Kano residents. Yusuf's exit is accompanied by the resignation of 21 Kano State House of Assembly members, 8 federal lawmakers, and all 44 local government chairmen in the state.
Well, in another development, the Minority Caucus of the House of Representatives has alleged that key provisions of recently enacted tax laws were altered illegally after being passed by the National Assembly and signed by the President, warning that the move threatens legislative independence and Nigeria's democracy. The allegation is contained in an interim report by the Minority Caucus Ad Hoc Committee on Tax Laws, set up to probe discrepancies between laws passed by lawmakers and versions later published in the official gazette. The probe followed concerns raised on the House floor by Abdul Saman Dasuki over what he described as the circulation of a version different from the one approved by the National Assembly. Presenting its findings, the committee confirmed alterations to the Nigeria Tax Administration Act 2025 and revealed that 3 different versions of the act are currently in circulation. It concluded that the anomalies warrant a full investigation, noting that they undermine the constitutional authority of the National Assembly.
And now to legal matters. A Rivers State High Court has adjourned indefinitely the suit filed by Governor Siminalayi Fubara'S and his deputy, Professor Ngozi Maudu, challenging the impeachment process initiated by the Speaker and members of the State House of Assembly. Justice Florence Fubara'S Maudu Judicial Division adjourned the matter after confirming the 2 related appeals have been filed at the Court of Appeal. The judge said proceedings at the trial court will be suspended to allow the appellate court to determine the issues before it.
Well, still talking legal matters, the Federal High Court in Abuja has adjourned a suit filed by a PDP faction loyal to FCT Minister Nyesom Wike until February 20, pending an appeal court decision. Justice Joyce Abdul Malik made the adjournment after the Kabiru Turaki-led PDP leadership filed an appeal challenging an interim order that had barred parties from taking action in the case. The original suit was filed by the Wike-aligned faction led by acting national chairman Alhaji Mohammed Abdul Rahman. In a related ruling, Justice Abdul Malik dismissed another suit filed by Turaki's faction after their lawyer, Chris Uche, requested the case be struck out, though the judge noted that issues had already been joined.
This report says the Federal High Court in Ibadan has adjourned until February 24 the hearing of a suit challenging the Nigerian Immigration Service policy requiring married women to obtain their husband's consent before renewing their passport. The application also contests a similar policy mandating minors to obtain their father's consent for passport renewal. Justice Nkeonye Maha adjourned the matter after counsel to the applicant, Justice Ogwaba, informed the court that hearing notices had been served on the respondents twice in May and October 2025. Although the applicant's counsel argued the proceedings could continue in the absence of the NIS, the judge insisted on a fresh hearing notice, prompting the adjournment.
In the meantime, the Lagos Court of Appeal has disqualified Wole Olanipekun and Moise Banire from representing Nestor Limited and Nekun Energy Limited in their $2 billion debt dispute. The ruling, delivered by a panel of appellate justices, also struck out all legal filings by the affected law firms, according to Nestor's legal team. The decision is a major development in the long-running receivership battle between Nestor and a consortium of Nigerian banks.
Away from legal stories, Nigeria's national electricity grid collapsed completely on Friday, leaving parts of the country in blackout, the first of such incident in 2026. According to the Nigerian Independent System Operator, power generation fell to 0 megawatts, cutting electricity to all 11 distribution companies by about 1 p.m. The affected areas include Benin, Eko, Enugu, Ikeja, Jos, Kaduna, Kano, Port Harcourt, Ibadan, Abuja, and Yola. The collapse follows a series of grid failures in 2025, the most recent on December 29, highlighting ongoing challenges in strengthening the nation's power infrastructure.
And now to security matters. The Defense Headquarters is urging Nigerians to stay vigilant in crowded areas such as markets, churches, and other public gatherings. In a statement on its X handle, the DHQ advised citizens to report any suspicious behavior or individuals to the nearest security agency. It stressed that public vigilance and cooperation with security personnel are key to preventing crime and protecting communities.
Meanwhile, reactions continue to trail the reported mass abduction of Christian worshippers in Kajuru local government area of Kaduna State. Some residents who spoke with Abigail Olga in Abuja faulted the denial by the police and Kajuru local authorities that worshippers were kidnapped.
It's quite unfortunate. Everything is messed up.
It's bad.
Last year is very bad. If you are not taking care of the citizen, it's a problem.
The security intel should be very, very effective. This is a very serious affair.
The life of the people matters a lot.
They should be ahead of the masses.
Officials, the sponsors.
The Nigerian government is supposed to be in charge.
Nigeria is currently reeling from shock and fury following the confirmed abduction of more than 150 worshippers from churches in Kajura, Kaduna State, after initial denials from official quarters. Reacting, some residents who spoke to VOP TV crew in Federal Capital Territory FCT includes Honorable Richard Ijoma, Michael Onjewu, Honorable Mohammed Musa, condemned what they described as a shameful and irresponsible denial by the FG Kaduna State Police Command and Kajura local government officials.
Well, it's unfortunate now because it's this Nigerian thing. It's unfortunate, and most often information rush to press and social media without verification. And sometimes the government make mistakes by responding without equally making out their own finding. That is why you see that modeling up. Because possibly they were not aware, which is not good, because the security intel should be very, very effective. They should be ahead of the masses in terms of such information. It's unfortunate.
Yes, if you look at the whole thing is going in this country, everything is messed up. The Nigerian government is supposed to be in charge. The life of the people matters a lot. If you are not taking care of the citizen, is a problem. Now, in this area like this, security is supposed to be there. We have a lot of security in Nigeria here. So what are their functions? Are they not supposed to be guiding the people?
This kind of kidnapping and terrorism actually is not good. We don't like such things to be happening in a blessed country like Nigeria. Nigeria, we need peace, because only if there is peace, there is a progress.
Alfred Enodem urged the government to act swiftly to secure the release of all victims and to confront Nigerians' worsening insecurity.
And we are not even now talking of 1, 2, or 3 individuals. We are talking in terms of 100 plus. It should be taken seriously. Our government should add more efforts.
Federal government have to do something about it to fish out the sponsors.
Some will say Muslim, Christian. Are we not serving one God? We are advising the Muslim and Christian, please don't be killing, because in our Bible and Quran we say we are no killing inside. Why?
I am Oluwatosin reporting for VOP TV News Abuja.
Thank you very much, Tosin, for that. In another development, members of the Distillers and Blenders Association of Nigeria, along with unions including the Nigeria Labour Congress and Trade Union Congress, protested at NAFDAC's Lagos office against the ban on alcoholic beverages in sachets and small PET bottles. Carrying placards, the protesters appealed to the federal government to rein in NAFDAC, warning that the ban threatens millions of jobs and could put over 3 trillion naira in investments at risk. Solomon Adebosin of the Food, Beverage and Tobacco Senior Staff Association said the protest was sparked after NAFDAC began enforcing the ban, despite directives to suspend action pending further consultations. Aziz Razaki of the National Union of Food, Beverage and Tobacco Employees added that the policy targets indigenous producers and undermines the government's economic recovery and job creation goals.
Well, joining us in the studio to analyze the news today is Frank Ayala. Frank is a banker and a public affairs analyst. Frank, it's always a pleasure to have you join us. Good evening, welcome. Yeah, so just for context, right, Kano State Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf has resigned from the new Nigeria People's Party, citing ongoing internal crisis and legal disputes that he says have weakened the party nationwide. My first question to you, you saw this coming, didn't you?
Yes, because NNPP never existed.
Say that again.
NNPP never existed. NNPP become like a vehicle for Kwakwanso to vet his anger. Ticket in 2023. If you look at Kwakwanso's political career so far, Kwakwanso originally is a PDP member. He was a governor in 1999 through to 2003 when Shakraya, the former lecturer in one of the Polytechnic in Kano, unseated Kwakwanso. So since then, he has really not been stable.
But you don't know that NNPP is a political party. It is registered. And Kwankwaso is not the founder of the NNPP.
It's just like Labour. Do you ever hear anything reasonable about Labour till Peter Obi joined?
So what you're saying is Kwankwaso is the star boy of the NNPP.
He's the star boy of the NNPC. Kwankwaso pet his tent with NNPP because he needed to also show some political muscle. And eventually, he did not. He had about 1.3, 1.4 million votes last election. That is about 50% of the total vote that came out from Kano. So Kwakwanso is not at the national terrain.
Yeah, but it was the NNPP that brought Governor Yusuf to the seat as governor.
Yusuf is a cousin, is an in-law to Kwakwanso. Engineer Yusuf Abba is a cousin to Kwakwanso. So it has been a tailored movement just to make it look as if Kwakwanso has the political weight, national political weight, which I think it do not.
So are you denouncing the Kwankwasia movement?
Kwankwasia movement, how does that translate to last election?
That's a good question.
1.4 million votes. Nationwide, EOB has about 6.1 million votes. So put them side by side, that is about 20% or less than 20% of OB votes.
So analyze what you just said. The last general election, President Tinubu came first.
Yes.
Former Vice President.
8.9.
Yeah, former
Article
Vice.
6.9.
Followed by OB. Followed by Kwankwaso.
Kwankwaso,
Yeah.
1.4.
But he came fourth.
Well, that was half of the vote that come out from Kano.
Okay.
If you look at their governorship election, about 2.8 million. So 1.4 is about half, about 50% of only Kano. So we cannot now use that to say, okay, nationwide.
Aha.
If you look at Obi, the entire vote Obi get from the southeast was about 1.1 million vote or 1.2 million vote. But when you take that into 6.1 million vote, it still give you close to that. You have a national spread. Okay. So Kwakwanso is seeking for relevancy for me. This is my opinion. He's seeking for relevancy. So you have also seen that he want to negotiate. Kwakwanso is negotiating on two sides, and it's a dangerous political game. You are negotiating with ADC, you are negotiating with APC. Unfortunately, APC side is blocked because Tinubu can no longer go for Muslim ticket.
Does this mean Vice President Shettima is safe? You know, once upon a time we had rumors.
It's out of the mathematics, it's out of the calculation.
He's staying.
He's out of the mathematics. So
he's out of the mathematics.
Oh, he's out of it?
He's out of the calculation because if you listen to Akpabio, that Donald Trump is on our neck. Why is Donald Trump on our neck? Because it's being perceived that there's Christian genocide. And if you look at those that are pushing that narrative, though not to conceal, but if you look at their sentiment, the president is a Muslim, the vice president is a Muslim, the national security advisor is a Muslim. Why the Minister of Defense, not now, was a Muslim. The state Minister for Defense was a Muslim. So what do you now tell us? How do you now explain this? That it's not a Muslim, it's not a Muslim nation.
Fair.
So if you look at it, Kwakwanso for me, is either here or there. So people should not have the sleepless night for Kwakwanso. You have no political, as of today, his political value is there. Because
can I come in here? So with this move by his protege, his political protege, does it not look like it looks like it harnesses your point about the fact that Kwankwaso is dead? But what do you think? Do you think that with this now, do you think Kwankwaso will actually want to go to APC or will he want to go to ADC?
Kwankwaso is negotiating with two political parties, the ADC and the APC. Sending his boys to go to APC is to hold the Kano block. If you look at the defections, all Kano have 44 local governments, all the local government chairman. All of them was not AMPP. Some of them were APC before now, local government chairman. The members of the house, they were not, all of them were not just AMPP. Some of them were also APC. Kwakwanso was a founding father of APC. Remember the NPDP, the new PDP that comprised of Kwakwanso, Saraki, Baraje Aro of Kwara State, or other state man, Tambawa, the Dino, Abechi, and the same article. So Kwakwanso for me, the Kwakwanso political journey so far, I think it's also coming to a level where Nigeria can no longer trust him. Just like what's also happened to my brother from the South now, Wike.
Yeah, but before we go to Wike's issue.
Kwakwanso, the movement of Abba Yusuf, for me, it has nothing to change. It does not change political calculation from what we have today. So Kwakwanso for me, you should better go and think of how best to manage the political career.
But I've got two questions for you. Where do you think Governor Abba Yusuf is going to? He resigned from the NNPP.
Yes.
Do you think the handwriting is on the wall? Because 4 days ago, he was in a closed-door meeting.
He has been there. If you look at how Ganduje were removed, the discussion has started very long ago. Kwakwanso and Ganduje cannot be in one political party. They are two serious political enemies.
And Ganduje is in the APC.
But he's silent. They've relegated it to a level. He's not the chairman of FAN. Federal Port Authority of Nigeria. He's not the chairman, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
So he's not going to play a mainstream politics.
So what are you saying?
He also did not have the political career, the political muscle way to pull Kano. Kwakwaso, we have it a little, but not on a national level, but on Kano State.
So where do you think Yusuf is going to? Is it the APC?
It's in the APC. It's heading to APC.
All right, so does that now mean that the concerns of analysts like yourself is true, that Nigeria is, veering toward a one-party?
No.
It's not?
No.
Can you explain?
Okay, now, this is what Kwakwaso want to do. We want to have an influence in the APC in Kano, while he will now go to ADC with your Kwakwaso movement. You're going to be playing it from two sides.
So you're saying Yusuf is working together with Kwankwaso?
By God's grace, yes.
Oh, wow.
They had a meeting before Kwankwaso, before Yusuf went to see Tinubu. They had a meeting.
No, but there have been talks of Yusuf betraying his mentor and his godfather and all. Or is that just on
paper? Stage
managed?
On paper, they are stage managing it. Wow. Just to create that perception that he's a liberal Democrat. It's not true.
But these are your views.
Yeah, this is my personal view. Right. I think I'm also entitled to my view.
Apparently, everybody is entitled to their view. Yeah, Inena, you want to comment as well?
Let's move away from Kano State and now move on to what has happened, which is very important to all Nigerians. The Minority Caucus of the House of Representatives has alleged that key provisions of recently enacted tax laws were altered illegally after being passed by the National Assembly and signed by the President, warning that this move would threaten legislative independence and Nigeria's democracy. We know that this came up when Dasuki mentioned it, and then this caucus was like an ad hoc committee was set up for them to look into this. And now they're coming out to say there's a report by Minority Caucus of the ad hoc committee. What do you make of this? Doesn't this spell? I don't want to use the word doom because doesn't this spell?
That's the right word to use because the process of democracy, we have the executive that implements the law. Then we have the judiciary that interprets the law. The executive implements the law. The judiciary interprets the law in case there is friction. Now, what the executive have done is to take over the power of the legislator. If that happens, we are no more in democracy. That's where the fear is coming from. And that's why we are telling Mr. President, you please suspend the implementation of this whole thing. All these things are harmonized. Because what they've done, you see, when the National Assembly harmonized the law with House of House of Rep, they will transmit through the speaker, through the clerk of the House, to the presidency for endorsement. Once the presidency endorses it transmits that particular thing to the Attorney General office, who will now gazette that thing with supervision of the agency involved, like the tax office now, headed by Oyedele. What they've done, the law that was transmitted to them from National Assembly was not what they gazetted. They altered it. There is no column of the law, there is no part of the law that says you should alter what they transmit to you. If you have any issue with it, to refer it back to the House for them to harmonize it and get back to you. That's why when you watch Buhari, when you wanted to sign that electoral act there was issue of, so he keeps sending it back to National Assembly for them to amend. It does not a law that he must sign because Tinubu was in the order to prove a point that never exists.
So that was the late Buhari following the rule of law.
Yes.
Now you said they. Who are they that altered it?
The executive, because they are the one that gazetted the law.
You do realize that this is an impeachable offense?
Yes. If not that, I don't know whether it is the plan of this current APC to destroy the democracy that people work for or fought to get. By now,
I don't think that's the case, considering that our president is a Democrat himself.
A Democrat that forged the law?
Well,
don't also forget that as led by APC government today, this our president, with due respect to that office occupied, has so many issues that make people to that is credibility. We are in this country of how those issues of certificate, Chicago, drug issues,
but can I draw you back to the tax issues, right? So we saw Mr. Oyedele himself come out to say that this is not even some serious matter, that it's just about processes, that the processes are manual, that it's just a process thing.
A process that is not stated on the law. So Oyedele is forging a law for us. That's what that document implies. And you want that, okay, now, you have developed a template for implementation in line with the kind of document you forge, not what National Assembly transmitted. That's why they are also scared not to release the template for implementations.
I think Onena has a question.
So for me, they need to suspend the implementation of that law until there's a complete harmonization of that document from National Assembly. Else, it's an illegal document they are implementing, and Nigeria will not take them serious.
Okay, but looking at those alterations,
Not alterations. It's not a narrative of alteration.
Okay.
It's forged.
Okay, so you're saying that
If the law use the word and you use inclusive, you are forging the inclusive. It's forged. It's not alterations.
Wow. So you're totally ruling a case of a typographical.
That is not the issue here. That is not the issue here. See, in my university, they say you score 2-1. When you are presenting that document to a legal entity, you now put 2-2. You have forged documents. It's not you are forged. It's a law. You forge the law. If the law say and you put inclusive, it's forged. That's not what the law is saying. So that's why they are scared to give us what comes out from National Assembly that was transmitted to them and see what they gazetted. So for me, I think the president will need to suspend implementations until these issues are put completely to rest. So that Nigeria will have faith in the law. Because some of those issues going to get to the court.
But do you even see that happening? Because you see, the Senate has been actually very silent.
The taxpayer is going to go to court. If you charge me out of what you forge, in line with maybe I have a copy of what comes out of the National Assembly, I'll contest it in the law court. So what's going to be interpretation?
I do know how many Nigerians actually have a copy of the tax laws from the National Assembly?
Oh, at least we have 109 national assembly, we have 109 senators, we have 363 House of Reps that have families
who are our representatives.
Yeah. You will get those documents.
In fact, Honorable Dasuki, who was ably representing his constituency, said he bought these copies with his
because somebody told him. Somebody went to the market and bought the gazetted one and said, "Guy, is it what you pass?" The guy had to now go back to the original copy to now compare notes. Discover that there were about 9 different chapters. 9, not just one word. 9. So that was the original document. I think, in my own thinking, that they initially forwarded that the governor from the north rejected.
You know, you said something that the taxpayers they're going to go to court. In fact, the senior advocate of Nigeria, Femi Falana, had said, if you guys don't get your acts together, I'm taking this matter to the court.
We'll follow it to the court.
But you see, it would be remiss of us not to ask that. Now that these tax laws are in effect, I mean, it was implemented.
Yes,
first of
January 1st, yes.
What should be done? I know you said it should be suspended, but what do you think should be done?
The president should, since he claims he's a Democrat, democracy is a game of carrying people, lobby, get people to understand why he does on certain things. I also believe the president is not implementing this law for his personal reason. It's for the betterment of the Nigerian people. If the people you are implementing say, "Sir, sorry, suspend this thing," I don't see anything difficult in doing it. So if anybody want to approach the law court now, we all need to follow. Because it's a document that our children will read. It's a document that the whole world will pick it and now start comparing notes. Say, "Who are these kind of people today?" And you see, there are things for Trump to say Nigeria is a CPC, a country of particular concern. These are some of the reasons. I don't think this thing will happen in any part of the world. Executive cannot take over the functions of the legislator. It's not part of the procedure for democracy.
But before we let this matter lie, have you realized that it's just the House of Representatives that is on this matter? The Senate is relatively silent.
And the Senate will be silent. We have a rubber stamp Senate, headed by Akpabio as we stand today. You know why I say this? Without Tinubu, Akpabio does not exist. If you look at how Akpabio became the president of the Senate, it was a directive of the president. So he cannot work against his master. And Akpabio has never represented the interests of the Nigerian people. A man that built the world-class medical facility in Akwa Ibom, when they have an headache, he had a minor accident within a traffic light, he was flew abroad. That person that have Nigerian interest, somebody that has controversy everywhere. He been accused by Natasha. You see law came out to use some kind of unprintable words about Akpabio. Is that the Senate president that should have anything to contradict the president? The answer is no. So for me, I want to rely on what the House of Reps have said, that document does not represent what they transmitted from National Assembly. As such, the president should come to that reality that we need to suspend it, let's harmonize, and put it together again. It's a Nigerian law. After somebody can implement it. After all, there was time Wike went to court in this country to go and sue the president for Wike wanted to make VAT a state thing. They went to court. The matter is in court. But however, we need to test the rule of, we need to test the law.
Well, we need to test the law. That's coming from Frank Ayala. Okay, let's move on to what is happening in Rivers State. We know this back and forth between the House of Assembly and, of course, the state governor. And now a high court has adjourned indefinitely the suit filed by Governor Siminalayi Fubara and, of course, his deputy, challenging the impeachment process was initiated by the Speaker and, of course, members of the House of Assembly. And we also saw yesterday the Chief Judge said he would not be able to act on this particular issue that's getting to
constitute a 7-man panel.
Yes, constitute a 7-man panel for this particular case. So it now looks like, on one hand, there's a judge who is saying I cannot do anything. Then on the other hand, again, the suit that has been filed by the governor has also been adjourned indefinitely. What do you make of this development that is happening in Rivers State?
It's good for our democracy.
How is this a good thing?
You know why I say it's good for our democracy? Sometimes, until the law is tested and proper interpretation is given, the words might not make meaning to us. Now, what does the law say? If you look at as written, alleged by the House of Assembly, Rivers State, that constitute their misconduct. Somebody today, a lawyer was on a rise. He tried to read 4 of those their crimes as alleged, that spending money out of the budget. You now ask, which budget? In June 28th, IBAS transmitted, that's what the law says, in terms of state of emergency. The National Assembly will act as the state House of Assembly of that particular state. IBAS transmitted
being the sole administrator when there was a state of emergency.
Transmitted the budget of Rivers State to the president, who in turn now moved it to National Assembly for them to, and it was passed. At that level, in Rivers State, we have what we call budget law, not appropriation act. It's budget law, it's a law. As long as it's coming from the National State of Assembly. Now, by July, it was given back to IBAS. That means that budget will expire by December 31st.
Of 2026?
2025.
Okay.
I've forgotten a particular section now, what we call default budget. In case the law also anticipated that there might be this kind of argument. It gives the governor 6 months window to keep spending money while he's working on the budget.
6
that
months
6 months will now just in June, this 2026.
Okay.
So, if you look at what the judge has said, there's a pronouncement from the court that they should put everything on hold. When they say status quo, remember where you are before the matter comes to this place. Pending the determination of the case in the court, the chief judge should not receive the petition. No, the National Assembly, the state has not going to write to the chief judge to consult 7-man panel to investigate the alleged crime. But there's already a judgment that says, sorry, this letter not supposed to even come out to this place. And they've sacked the chief judge of the state. And the chief judge of it was appointed by Wike. It's a Wike appointee, not Fubara'S. Now the judge has said, sorry, looking at this court judgment, I cannot attend to this. I think it's even an insult to Nigerian constitution. It's insult to the collective sensitivity of Nigerian people. That there's a judgment. The speaker still went ahead and wrote. There's a judgment that says this letter not supposed to even exist. But he went ahead. This is the purity we are talking about. This was making the Nigerian to believe that the issue in Rivers State is not about the river people. It's a personal issue that they wanted to look for a way to get the treasury of the state to themselves.
So are you saying that lawmakers have become lawbreakers? That's what you're saying?
They don't even exist from the beginning. You know why? The law is very clear on the state on senators and House of Assembly. If you defect from that moment, your seat is declared vacant.
Yeah, but what did the Supreme Court say?
This is what the Supreme Court, when you look at Abejide in Ondo State, he said the day a senator leave his seat, but it is the party that that sponsor your election. You are standing on their mandate. The day you vacate that office to another political party, your seat is vacant by law. Because we have people like Tinubu there who do not believe in the rule of law. If not by now, INEC ought to have declared their seat vacant and by-election will take place. Because they openly said they moved to APC. Not the matter went to Supreme Court at that time. And what Supreme Court said then was, for you to be seen as a member of a political party, you must have their voter's card. You must have registered from the ward. So they were smart not to have gone to register in their ward. That's why when you look at Fubara, when he registered, he came out to say, I'm now 001.
Yes. And that's an issue. Well, Daniel Bala, presidential aide, came out to address that issue. He's the leader of the party in that state.
Today he's the sitting governor.
Can I ask now that all parties are heading to the appeal court on this matter, how do you see this case panning out?
That somebody tag this impeachment, say this is impeachment 2.0. That means we have 1.0 before that failed. That's what leads to going to the
this is actually the third time.
Okay, so we are going to 4.2 because this one we also fail. It has eventually failed because it becomes very clear that Wike is fighting a lost battle. If you listen to Boala, if you listen to APC national chairman, as long as Fubara'S is a sitting governor, is the party leader of that state. As such, Wike cannot, because he's not even their party member, he cannot dictate how they manage their state.
What does this mean for Wike? I should wrap up finally.
What this means for Wike, this is my personal advice to Wike. It's not every fight you win. You select your fight. But on this, please withdraw from this fight. Else, to destroy political career.
Wow. Wow, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Frank Ayala, for being with us and, of course, for sharing your views and, of course, trying to analyze the stories.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Of course, we want to remind you that the views of Frank Ayala are just his views, and not the views of VOP Media. Thank you very much once again, sir, for being with us.
It's a pleasure being with you.
Yes, welcome. You're still watching News Hour on VOP TV. We'll bring you more stories after this break, so stay with us.
Welcome back, everyone. And now, at the 56th convocation ceremony of the University of Lagos, over 502 postgraduate students graduated with distinctions. Among them, Voice of the People television reporter Matthew Ogunsuada was named Best Graduating Student in the Department of Mass Communication, earning a distinction in his Master of Science degree. VOP TV's Praise Peter has more.
Ceremony of the University of Lagos are graduates and academics from various faculties. Addressing the graduates, the Vice-Chancellor, Professor Folashade Ogunshola, outlines the moral values expected of them as they step into the wider society, charging them to remain worthy ambassadors of the institutions.
I welcome you all to the 56th convocation ceremonies of the University of Lagos. Today represents a day of reward for hard work for our graduates. It signals the commencement of recognition for diligence and dedication in pursuit of excellence. I congratulate all our graduating students, their families, friends, and loved ones who have supported them throughout their academic journey. We commenced the convocation with the Juma service at the University Mosque on Friday, January 16. On Monday, Mr. Otto, the founder of Slum to School Africa, delivered the convocation lecture titled Maximizing Nigeria's Demographic Dividend Through Urgent Education Reform for Global Competitiveness in the 21st Century. It was a thought-provoking lecture and was chaired by Professor Rahman Bello, the 11th Vice Chancellor of this university. Later that day, we attended the exhibition of works and innovations of staff and students and unveiled the University of Lagos Multimedia Library Studio, a state-of-the-art studio supported by the World Bank Center of Excellence, which will give our staff and students the opportunity to create television-style programs, high-quality live streams, academic lectures, and e-learning materials, amongst others.
Among the graduates was Voice of the People television reporter and presenter Matthew Ogunswada, who emerged as the best graduating student in the Department of Mass Communication with a distinction. He urged young people not to give up on their dreams regardless of life's challenges.
For me, graduating with a distinction from the Department of Mass Communication is only possible by the grace of God. When I look back at my journey as an orphan and as one that has been truly helped by God, by the church community, the Celestial Church of Christ, my lecturers and everyone, I am thrilled to motivate everyone not to give up on their goals. It is important that you pursue your goals, irrespective of what you are going through, irrespective of your ambition. I made the determination to come for a second degree after getting my first degree from the National Open University of Nigeria, and this is me graduating with a distinction. So I want to thank God. I want to also encourage people never to lose hope, to keep investing in a higher qualification, to keep investing in professional qualification, and not give up. Reading pays, study pays, and school is not a scam.
Other graduates expressed excitement over the ceremony, describing it as a moment of fulfillment, while also celebrating Matthew's resilience and inspiring journey.
I feel very excited for some graduating today, and I'm so happy about Matthew Ogunswada, first class graduate. He's been very dedicated, very hardworking, he's proactive, he's always ready to learn, he's always ready to teach. So we're not even surprised that he came out top. So I'm happy for him, and I wish him the very best.
Super happy to be graduating today. It's an example of, and it actually portrays my focus and determination to be here. And Matthew, of course, yes, he deserves it. This guy is always, let me put it this way, that you can jacking, and he's really determined. Even when he has to work, he knows how to juggle it, and no one affects the other. I'm super proud of you, bro.
Beyond the academic honors and celebration lies a powerful message of resilience, perseverance, and hope. That with faith, determination, and hard work, dreams shall remain valid.
Matthew, this is no surprise at all. Congratulations. This is beautiful. And praise, very well done. Thank you for that report. Now, the Lagos State government is moving toward universal health coverage with the launch of an enforcement team for its mandatory social health insurance policy. Under the scheme, civil servants and residents must enroll in the Ilere Eco program or risk losing access to some government services and, in some cases, their salaries. Our correspondent reports.
Lagos State is stepping up efforts to ensure every resident has access to affordable health care with the formal inauguration of the Lagos State Health Scheme Enforcement Team. The move marks the beginning of full implementation of Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu's executive order, making enrollment on the Ilere Eco social health insurance scheme mandatory. Officials say the policy is designed to end out-of-pocket spending that has often families into financial hardship during medical emergencies. The head of service, Olabode Agoro, says enforcement will begin within ministries, departments and agencies before extending to local governments and private sectors.
A strategic engagement with heads of agencies was convened on the 11th of December 2025 to secure institutional ownership of the executive order and ensure alignment across government MDAs. The engagement was facilitated by the Parastatals Monitoring Office, and it provided a unified platform to clarify expectations, harmonize approaches, and build a common understanding enforcement framework.
He adds that such civil servants must now present proof of enrollment during monthly staff audits, with salaries at risk for those who fail to comply.
For any staff, the salary will be withheld.
At the federal level, the Director General of the National Health Insurance Authority, Dr. Kelechi Ohiri, praised Lagos for aligning with the national drive for health sector reform, describing insurance as a key tool in preventing what he calls health poverty.
When I heard that today the enforcement team was going to be inaugurated, I decided to fly into Lagos this morning, not just to witness it, but also to offer our support and solidarity as we move this forward.
Officials of the Lagos State Management Agency say the scheme offers a range of plans, including options for senior citizens and residents in the diaspora, to ensure inclusivity and sustainability. The state government says enforcement team will operate with professionalism as Lagos moves closer to achieving universal health coverage. I am Monica Okolo, reporting for VOP TV.
Thank you very much, Onyeka. Elsewhere, public concern is growing after Talakawa's parliament raised allegations over the continued detention of Collins Aigbogun. He was arrested in Ekpoma, Ishan West Local Government area of Edo State, during an anti-kidnapping protest. The group claims Aigbogun, who was arrested with other protesters, remains in police custody without formal charges in violation of his human rights and due process. Correspondent Rhoda Jenny reports.
Has raised concerns over the continued detention of Honorable Collins Aigbogun, alleging a violation of human rights and due process. The group made the claim during a press engagement on January 23, 2026. Aigbogun was arrested in Ekpoma, Esan West Local Government area of Edo State, following an anti-kidnapping protest, while several others arrested during the protest were released. He remains in police custody without formal charges. The group alleged that the detention is politically motivated and accused authorities of linking Aigbogun to the protest without evidence.
It is morally reprehensible and legally wrong that to date, Honorable Collins Aigbogun is still suffocating in the odoriferous cells of the police. It must be noted that Senator Modo Gbebolo, the executive governor of Edo State, had previously stated pronto that the Ekpoma protest was vigorously sponsored by unnamed Russian-based Nigerian and some Edo people living abroad. It is very, very worrisome that Collins Aigbogun is still kept incommunicado by the police on the order of the governor of Edo State, Senator Modo Gbebolo, contrary to the rule of law, calling for the immediate and unconditional release of Honorable Collins Aigbogun from police custody as he didn't commit any crime. No to law.
We from the civil society angle, it is protest that is the only tool that we know and have to confronting the government and telling truth to power. They didn't go into the street bearing arms. like they alleged the students, and the students were arrested with Honorable Collins Agbogun, and those were left free to go. Why did they hold only Collins Agbogun till this present day? Why are they not letting him go? Holding him in penitentiary or in incarceration is against his fundamental human rights.
Talakawa's parliament called on Governor Monday Okpebholo and the Nigerian police force to ensure his immediate and unconditional release, warning that continued detention could undermine public confidence in democratic institutions. Brother Johnny, DOP TV News.
Rhoda, thank you. On the foreign scene now, the president of Somaliland has held talks with Israel's leader and the U.S. president's son as the breakaway region seeks international recognition and foreign investment.
In another development, FBI Director Kash Patel says former Canadian Olympic snowboarder and alleged drug kingpin Ryan Wedden has been arrested in Mexico. He will be extradited to the U.S. after years on the run. We now move on to business. The Central Bank of Nigeria has announced plans to introduce a new regulatory policy aimed at improving debit card issuance and ATM operations across the banking sector as part of efforts to tackle ongoing cash access challenges.
Well, in sports news, Arsenal midfielder Ethan Nwaneri has joined French club Marseille on loan for the rest of the season. The teenager made 12 appearances for the Gunners in all competitions, scoring once in the Carabao Cup, but he did not feature in the Premier League.
In entertainment, Nigerian singer J1 has called out younger artists who claim to be surpassing their predecessors in the music industry. Speaking on social media, J1 criticized the tendency to measure success solely by streams, publicity, and financial strength, arguing that these do not define artistic greatness.
Well, that does it for us on News Hour today. But before we go, a quick look at the headlines. Looks like we're going to be skipping the headlines for now. Just do well to subscribe to our YouTube channel. On YouTube, we are Voice of the People TV. And other social media platforms, we are at VOP TV Live. If you witness news happening near you, we want to hear from you. Send your eyewitness reports, event coverage requests, photos or videos directly via WhatsApp to 0814-606-4057. You can also reach our newsroom by email at news@vop.ng. Well, I am Vivian Uguche.
And I am Nenna Ndomdioto. Thank you for watching.
Behind every broken desk lies a broken promise. Education shapes the nations. But who is asking the right questions? Introducing Edu Dialogue, the show that goes beyond the surface, exposes the cracks, the corruption, and the silence in Nigeria's education system. Edu Dialogue, Saturdays, 3 p.m., only on VOP TV. We break the biggest stories, from missing funds to policy failures. We ask the tough questions and demand real answers. Edu Dialogue, this Saturday, 3 p.m. on Voice of the People Television.
In a world where power shifts with every headlines, news breaks and events happens, we bring you unbiased and explicit information on politics, economy, and state of the nation. We break down the chaos. Facts, not fluff. Truth, not a spin. We discuss not just politics, but a glimpse into the future. Voice of the People Television. Now you have more than a voice.
Africa is on the move, a continent of rising voices, untold stories, and powerful transformations. From the streets of Lagos to the heart of Nairobi, from the mines of Congo to the tech labs of Cape Town, the African story is being written every day. Bold, dynamic, unstoppable. This is African News on Voice of the People Television. We don't just bring you the news. We analyze and bring you Africa's heartbeat, the politics that shapes our nations, the economies that drives our future, the cultures that defines who we are, the voice that must be heard. Africa News, Africa's voice, Africa's future. Where Africa speaks, the world listens.
Are you ready for the extraordinary? Something big is happening on your screen. Introducing VOP TV. Now streaming on SLTV channel 264. From breaking news to captivating conversations, news analysis, giving you all sides to the story. We bring in-depth discussions on the issues that matter, from politics to sports, entertainment, and lifestyle. VOP TV on SLTV channel 264. Join us as we redefine what television means to you. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice.
This is Health Check, your weekly guide to better living, smarter choices, and trusted answers. From everyday wellness to urgent health issues, we've got you covered. Health Check, only on Voice of the People Television, where your health has a voice.
In a world where power shifts with every headline,
in a nation full of questions,
in a world filled with noise, the truth needs a voice.
The policies that shapes our world and the economy that determines our future.
Every hour, every day, the grapevine keeps buzzing. And together, we are committed to telling the stories that shape our world, because your voice is our focus.
Don't forget, our voice matters the most. Let us come together and share our concerns.
VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice.
It's a beautiful Friday morning. Thank God today is Friday, and we welcome you to Voice of the People Television. Now, the program is VOP This Morning, and I am Chukuma Okoro. On the show today, insurgency in northern Nigeria. They will be hit very hard again. That's coming from Donald Trump. Credibility is at stake. Prioritize Electoral Act amendment and good governance. Article Okonjo-Iweala to Senate and the federal government. Rivers Chief Judge declined to set up panel to probe Fubara'S. Now, these are the major topics of discussion, but on our table, we also have other interesting trending stories. Good morning, gentlemen. Good morning, Moses. Good morning, gentlemen. Good morning, lady. Gentlemen of the press, by the way.
Yes, good morning to you. Good morning, viewers. Welcome to the program. It's VOP This